In this video, we'll be going through the part 2 questions from June 2023 Geometry Regents. 25 is a construction. In triangle ABC below, use a compass and straight edge to construct the altitude from C to AB. All right, the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to bold point C on my paper here, and I'm going to put the starting ring of my compass there. Holding that down, I'm going to draw an arc so that it crosses side AB twice. I'm going to then bold those two intersections because those are going to be the next two places where I put the compass. Now we're basically going to do the perpendicular bisector construction. This works because an altitude and a perpendicular bisector both form right angles. I'm going to put the gold ring of my compass on that first intersection point, and I'm going to find a measurement that's pretty close to the other one. And whatever measurement you use, you want to remember which one it is. Then I'm going to reverse it, put the gold ring on the other point, and using that same measurement, draw another arc in the opposite direction. Those arcs should intersect, and they should also be in line with point C. So take a moment to line your compass up with point C and those intersections. And our altitude is basically from C to this side of the triangle, and I will just label that here for you that is our altitude of triangle ABC. Number 26, triangles ABC and DEF are graphed on the set of axes below. Describe a sequence of transformations that maps triangle ABC onto triangle DEF. Well, to start off here, it definitely appears to be a rotation. So I'm going to start by doing a rotation, and there are many correct ones you could choose from. So I'm going to choose to rotate the triangle about point A. And when I do that, point C is going to land here, and B will be here. And I'm just using the measurements. I can see that it's 4 across this way. B is up 2 over 2, because rotation is going to preserve size. So basically, I did a rotation of 90 degrees. Let's think about what direction this is. This is the direction a clock goes, so clockwise, about A. And now I'm going to do a translation. So the translation, B and E, will use, those are 2 points that correspond. So 1, 2, 3, 4 points to the right, and 1, 2, 3, 4 units down. So I'm going to do a rotation of 90 degrees clockwise about A. And then I'm going to do a translation 4 to the right and 4 down. Okay, and again, there's many correct answers here. This is just an example of one. 27, line segment PQ has endpoints -5, 1 and 5, 6. R is on PQ. We want to find the coordinates of R so that the ratio of PR to RQ is 2 to 3. All right, definitely for this, I would suggest that you study this topic for the Regents. They seem to always put this question on there, and they just change the numbers. So let's plot. We have -5, 1. And we have 5, 6. And let's make a nice straight line. If you're doing this on paper, use a straight edge to connect them. All right, since we want a ratio of 2 to 3, this means that there should be 5 total pieces. Add those two numbers up, that's how many pieces there should be. And we need them to be congruent. So you could probably look at your picture and do some pretty good eyeballing here and see these are the points I can plot to create 5 congruent pieces. And we want the one that splits it into a 2 to 3 ratio, so that's going to be this point here. That's because there's 2 sections or segments to the left. There's 1, 2, 3 to the right. So point R has the coordinates -1, 3. 28. A circle has a radius of 6.4 inches. Determine and state to the nearest square inch the area of a sector whose arc measures 80 degrees. So here's our area of a sector formula. It's the central angle, so 80 over 360 pi r squared. And now let's put that right in our calculator. So 80 over 360 times pi times 6.4 squared. And we want to measure to the nearest square inch, so that's going to be 29 square inches. 29, a large snowman is made of 3 spherical snowballs with radii 1, 2, and 3. Determine and state the amount of snow in cubic feet that is used to make the snowman. All right, so we are basically going to do the volume of a sphere 3 times. Once where there's a radius, once where there's a radius of 3. Once where there's a radius of 2. And once where there is a radius of 1. All right, now let's find each of these volumes in terms of pi. So for the first one, we have 4/3 times 3 cubed. This is 36 pi. For the next one, we have 4/3 times 2 cubed. And let's put that in a fraction here. So that's going to give me 32 over 3 pi. And the last one, we don't really need to put that in our calculator since we're cubing 1. This is going to give me 4/3 pi. So I'm going to add 36 plus 32 over 3 plus 4 over 3, basically all those coefficients of pi. I get 48, so my total is 48 pi cubic feet. 30, in the diagram below of right triangle ACB, altitude CD is drawn to hypotenuse AB. AD is 2, AC is 6. Determine and state the length of AB. So we're looking for this whole hypotenuse here. I'm going to label that with an X. And if you've watched my other Regents videos before, you see these are the problems that I call Hills or SAS problems. This is going to be a Hills problem. The way that we look at this here is it's the hypotenuse, that's X. We're doing the hypotenuse of the big triangle, that's what I'm referring to, over the leg of the big triangle, which is 6, the leg again, and the segment there. Let's cross multiply that. I'm going to get 2x is 36, and x is 18, or the length of AB is 18. 31, triangle RST has vertices with coordinates r -3, -2, s 3, 2, and t 4, -4. Determine and state an equation of the line parallel to RT that passes through point S. Well, parallel lines have the same slope. So this tells me I want to start off by finding the slope of RT. So let's write the slope of RT. You could choose to graph it and do rise over run if you'd like. I'm just going to use the slope formula, which is the change in y over the change in x. So this is going to give me -2 over 7. So that's going to be our parallel line, and we want to use the point S32. Okay, so based upon that, we're going to do point slope form. So y minus 2 equals -2 over 7, x minus 3, and that's our answer. Does not say we need to put it in slope intercept form, so I am going to leave it just like that. Check out the next video on this playlist to see the answers to the part 3 and 4 questions.